Before I get started, let's make sure we are actually live, everybody. All right, so I'm officially live. I actually wanted to do it in the backyard because we have nice weather for once. I'm gonna try to block the sun with my head because if I unblock it, I'm like, pow, take that. But anyway, check that out when I do unblock it. It's a pretty awesome day for today, so much so that I have to wear my sunglasses or I'm squinting the whole time. I actually don't like wearing sunglasses on videos, but today we're gonna do it. Actually, we're not. So what I wanted to kind of talk about today was it's the idea of it's MLK Day. So a lot of banks are closed, a lot of people are shut down. But one of the quotes that I really like that he said, and I think there's a lot of variations of it. So if it's different, you can comment below and adjust it. But the quote goes, people hate each other because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because they don't communicate with each other. And they don't communicate with each other because they're separated from each other. And if you've heard this quote, give me a hashtag yes down below. And if it makes sense to you, give me a hashtag makes sense down below so I understand everybody knows where I'm coming. But one thing that I think that comes out from this quote is we, especially in current times with everything that's going on, we live in silos. It's like you're Republican, you're Democrat, you're Black or white or Hispanic or Asian, you're right or you're wrong, but you can't be anything else. We spend so much time in this division that we tend to forget what it's like to come together. We forget what it's like to actually agree with someone or to ask someone what they mean by something. We try so hard to be right in everything that we do. We forget how much progress we make when we let someone else have a say in the matter. When we open up our hearts and minds to the fact that if you're a Republican, the Democrats might have some things that make sense to you. If you're a Democrat, the Republicans might. If you're whatever race you are, everybody can come together and communicate with each other to understand each other. And fear comes from the fact that we don't understand each other. We don't understand what we're saying because we don't take the time to understand why people are saying the things they're doing. We don't understand that everybody has a different model of the world that they've grown up in. Whatever happened to you in your past creates the model that you see today, and that's the model that you see. But it's not the model that someone else is going to see. It's not the model that I might see or the model that someone who's watching this might see. And the problem with that is we fail to understand that people have different models of the world, and these models create the divisions that we see today because we don't take the time to reflect on the fact that someone might have grown up in a different way. Someone might see the world in a different way, and we don't take the time to ask why. So what do? We close our eyes to the viewpoints of others. We close our eyes to the possibility that we could be wrong. We close our eyes to the fact that there is no right or wrong. There is no moralities in the world. There's only how we grew up and what context our world was created in that creates our moralistic viewpoint of where we're at today. And so if we can understand that our morals, our rights, our wrongs are different than someone else's, and we can communicate to ask how they see the world, we can remove ourselves from these silos that put us in this place where we hate each other, this place where we have to create division, this place where we have to be Republican, Democrat, Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, and we remove ourselves from the capabilities to come together and grow together. And because of this, we live in these silos. We live in our own little silos with our own little people in our own little environment. And these silos, our voices grow louder in the silos, but we become deaf to the world and we become incapable of creating any sort of correspondence to make or create what I would call a culture of care, a culture to where we can understand the viewpoints of others. We don't call people names. We don't call them, what are they, damn it, libitards or whatever they say. And I don't even know what the terms are, but we don't call people those things because we take the time to understand who they are. We remove ourselves from our silos so we can enter into other silos and create a unity in our ability to see the world and unity in constructing the message that pulls us together and doesn't take us apart. And I think that's the problem we're experiencing right now. The louder these silos grow, the bigger these silos of separation become. And the less we're likely and capable to listen to each other, to bring each other together. And when you look at the leaders who bring people together, there's two types of leadership. There's the ones who pull each other apart, which creates this sort of angry environment. And we have leaders who bring people together for a common purpose. And it doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you believe. What matters is that you're willing to listen to what other people have to say. And you're willing to say, I can respect that. It's not that hard. I don't agree with something someone else says. I ask them, what do you mean by that? Or what does that mean? And then I start to understand it. And if I don't agree with it still, I can respect that. We can agree to disagree, to come together on this. But because I took the time to understand you, to respect you as a human being, and to grow with you, I now understand your model of the world. And because of that, I left my little silo. I entered yours for a bit, and we created a joint silo to where we can communicate together and we can grow together. And I'm no longer in this environment where I have to be one thing. I've created a horizontal environment to where I can be many different things. And like I said earlier, it's not right or wrong. It's not yes or no. It's not Republican, Democrat. It's just people. And if people can come together to grow together, that's when we create a world that we can actually create change in. Let me know if this makes sense. Give me a hashtag makes sense down below. And if you're ready to create a sort of culture of care like this, give me a hashtag hell yeah down below, because I think this is what we need in the world right now. There's too much division. There's too much attacking. There's too many silos that have been created that don't allow us to come together and don't allow us to create an environment to where we can collaborate. And like I said earlier, it's not about being right. It's not about being wrong. It's not about morals. It's about understanding that everybody sees the world in a different way. And you can argue to a point that the world doesn't even exist in the state that you see it, outside of the state that you see it. The world exists as we see fit or as we see it. And everybody sees it in a little bit of a different way. And so I think we have to open our hearts and minds to the fact that we're not right. We're not wrong. There is no right or wrong. There's just the thoughts, the beliefs, and the experiences that shape the world we live in today. And that creates who we are. But that doesn't mean that's who we stay. We have the capabilities to expand our model of the world and to grow outside of who we are and to move into what we can be, and ultimately broaden our horizon to create an environment where we can respect what we don't understand, to where if we fear it, we don't hate it. We work to understand why it exists. We work to understand where it came from. And that's ultimately how we create progress. Let me know if this makes sense, guys. If you're watching, give me hashtag live down below. If you're watching after the fact, give me hashtag replay. And if you liked what I had to say, give me hashtag hell yeah down below. But that's pretty much all I've got to say today. I've been rambling for a while. Hope you guys are doing awesome out there. Thought it'd be cool to jump on live and have a quote from MLK. Anyway, hope everyone's doing awesome out there. Let me know what you think down below, and I am going to sign off. If you have any questions, comment below, and that's it. I will talk to y'all later.